My name is Brenda Howell, and I'm going to talk about the OPT model and what makes it different from traditional resistance training models and why it is better and why you would want to use it with your athletes. The optimal performance training model developed by NASM consists of 3 stages of training, and the 3 stages are also broken down into a total of 6 phases. The first stage, the stabilization stage, is the foundation of the whole model, and that consists of 1 phase of training, and that's the stabilization endurance training phase. Stage 2, the strength training stage, consists of 3 phases, phases 2, 3, and 4. Phase 2, the strength endurance training phase. Phase 3, the hypertrophy training, and phase 4, the maximal strength training. The third stage, the power stage, consists of phases 5 and 6, and that's the power training and the maximal power training phases. One important thing to know is that in every phase of the OPT model, it is a very progressive and systematic training. It's also sport specific and integrated, as well as proprioceptively challenging, and that's one of the big things that makes the OPT model different than a traditional resistance training model. But one of the reasons what makes the OPT model better than the traditional training model is the different aspects of the core aspects of each model. Basic resistance training is really beneficial for improving muscle strength, power, and speed, but that's it. And it is also a model that trains in only one plane of movement. That's either done in the frontal plane or the sagittal plane and targets one primary muscle using concentric and eccentric muscle contractions. The muscle force production is an important aspect of training. However, muscle strength is only one aspect of an overall functional performance. Most sports activities require a multi-planar movements using multiple muscles together to dynamically stabilize, accelerate, and de-accelerate the body, and functional training is going to hit those aspects of it. Functional training includes training in all planes of movement, and that's what the OPT model really focuses on, training in every plane of movement. Other factors such as stability and endurance, movement quality, power, flexibility, speed, and agility are important elements for an athlete. A functional training program is required to improve all of these needed aspects. The various components of the OPT model include flexibility training, cardiorespiratory training, core training, balance training, plyometric training, SAQ, integrated multi-planar resistance training, and also it's very sport-specific conditioning. And each of these components are found in every single stage of the OPT model. There is a lot of evidence of the OPT working. Several studies that I found, well, 2 of them. The first one compared isolated training to functional training and found that athletes in the isolated training only improved in 3 of the 6 tested categories, where the functional training group had an improvement in all 6 categories, and that was a study done by DiStefano. Hong tested ankle stability after an integrated training program, and it was 2 different programs. One was a functional training, and the other participants used a single plane exercises. And he found that ankle stability increased under the functional training exercises, but it pretty much stayed the same with the single plane exercise groups. So if your athletes train with poor techniques, poor neuromuscular control, they will develop poor motor patterns and poor stabilization, and that's going to lead to injured athletes. Following the OPT model of training allows your athletes to train with proper techniques and proper neuromuscular control. As a result, you will have a healthy athlete and you'll be ready to compete at the next level.